Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there. Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome. We're going to share some of a message that we got from the Galactic Federation. We got a message from our guides as well. Actually, everybody came through. We purposely have not been channeling a lot at the request of the guides just because they wanted us in this time period of rapid evolution and change to work on ourselves. So that's what we've been trying to do.
Right. Just really taking care of ourselves, focus on ourselves, our diet, physical body, all of that stuff is very important during these times it's rapid evolution, really.
It is. It's evolution fast forward is what we're going through right now. And I just wanted to also reiterate, please do check, see if you're subscribed to Evolutionary Energy Arts and also to EEARTS. When you go to EEARTS, check out the playlist, and here is the healing through energy work, Qigong, meditation, and Reiki. So we have our short Qigong program, and Qigong just means energy work in Chinese. And then we have our long program, which is about an hour long. This one's like 25 minutes, and they're both going to get you flowing. It's so important. Where we are going is much more pliable. It's much higher vibrational. There's less transit time between thoughts and emotion to reality than what we have been used to experiencing.
That's right. There's a lot going on, and it does take time to integrate these energies.
And then there's a practice called pore breathing over here, bone breathing. I cannot underestimate how powerful that is. I mean, seriously, guys, that is the practice that healed my discs and helped me get over Lyme's disease. It's been an incredible tool. You could do it lying in bed. My habit was that I would do it in bed when I woke up in the morning, and also practicing that as I was trying to go to sleep until I would fall asleep. And that was it. It was something that all it is just basically it's intent, consciousness with your breath.
Yeah, and it really does help, but one thing you have to be is consistent.
Consistency is key and focused, and I wouldn't do it after 2 martinis.
No, definitely not.
No. So again, it's about how serious we are. And so there's a bunch of other meditations and different videos in here that would all help. A simple grounding and rooting meditation. And some interesting stuff like meditation literally can change your brain. It's proven, scientifically proven. And just lots of other fun and interesting stuff in there. So what's going on? Well, all the ascension energies that are coming in are changing our reality. And as we were saying, it's making it far more pliable. It's easier to actually heal ourselves now than ever if there was no interference again from the dark side out there. People would be experiencing record longevity for our modern age. And when I say that, I mean like 5,000 years. Like this time of the Kali Yuga. We would be finding that our lifespan would be increasing. We would be younger. We'd have more vitality. We'd be starting to understand each other more. We'd be starting to come together. And we'd be learning that we're not alone, because we would be able to notice things without all the frequencies, all the toxins, all the environmental pollution, the GMO foods, all the other things that may enter our bodies as well. They're all geared towards numbing, and basically slowing the evolutionary process.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's really key. It is about numbing the emotions that are coming through, because when you evolve, you go through certain emotions, you experience certain things, and when we've had trauma, this can be a little bit difficult to walk through, and you can't just slap a Band-Aid on it and expect it to be gone. You actually have to process this energy inside of you.
Absolutely. And here you could see representations of the chakras. It's all about the chakras. And it's all about building our Merkaba. It's building our light body. When we see the wings of an angel, it's actually what it looks like. It's not really wings. Although when your Merkaba is built, you could travel anywhere.
Yeah, you can get you can go to places that you didn't even realize you could ever go.
Yeah, we don't need technology for any of this. You can learn how to leave the body and go to other realms and other realities. Things like energy work, as you see here, the founders of Pranic healing and Usui Reiki. Energy work is getting far more efficient, and the guys were telling us that we're helping people to a much higher degree than ever before.
Really giving people those stepping stones to get to a better place where they can actually use their energy to help their loved ones more.
Quantum physics tells us that we live in a reality, a world, a cosmos that responds to the observer. The observer is us. We are the observers. It's our act of observation that makes the reality come together. So again, it's all about perception, and it's all about focus, and it's all about knowing that you can. It's like, what was that? The little engine, the little choo-choo that I think I can. No. I know I can. It's so important. One of the worst things, in my humble opinion, and again, I'm not an MD, one of the most devastating things that our modern medical system does is diagnose. Because if we look to the foundations of all these different forms of energy healing, like Reiki, Pranic healing, medical Qigong, and there's other forms as well, it's all about recognizing that disease is dis-ease, which is disharmony. And when we look at it and at the 5-element level in Chinese elemental theory, it's all about disharmony of the elements within the body. That disharmony almost always occurs because of emotions. Emotions we can't process, emotions that we bury, emotions that are too painful. This is what causes disease. Now again, if you get hit by a car, that's something totally different. You have a broken rib, you have broken bones, things like that. Your lung gets punctured. That's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is disease, and we don't even mean being exposed to radiation, being exposed to toxic situations. Although our body is built to overcome toxicities if we give it time and everything it needs.
That's really important, having everything that your body needs to rebuild itself. And if you do have like an accident, you break a bone, there is going to be some disturbed energy field in that area, and if you can get that repatterned, that physical part will heal much faster.
Absolutely. And I had people that would come to me when I was working in a actual brick mortar clinic, that knew they were going in for surgeries of various types, and they would come to me before the surgery, they'd come to me after the surgery, because they knew, they've read studies where the energy work can help them before the surgery, make it so that there's less chances, less occurrences of different complications that might arise, and then it could also speed the recovery period and make it less painful, less traumatic. And there have been studies that have shown that. And of course, those studies, want to be buried by the industry that has a little substance to give you, a little, write this down on a piece of paper, here you go, take it to Walmart, take it to, Walgreens, CVS, etc., and the instructions are going to be on the bottle. They don't want you knowing this, because it takes power away from all these industries and puts it in your hands, because you can learn how to draw this life force. It's really just a matter of consciousness, intent, focus, in certain breathing techniques.
Right. And one of the things that they try to train us in this modern age is like everything can be fixed with a pill, or it can be fixed really fast.
Absolutely. But we can do it through intent. And all of these forms of healing are increasing in power and efficiency because of everything that the sun is doing for us right now. The sun is bringing rays to us that are turning on our DNA that's been, quote unquote, dormant and junk. Well, it's not dormant and junk anymore. It's waking up. I mean, we actually have cases, documented cases of people found with 3-strand and even 4-strand DNA. And the line of thinking is we're heading towards 12-strand DNA. Again, pranic healing, Reiki, Qigong, these are all practices. Again, there's a variety in these techniques to a degree, but at the core, it's focus, it's intention, it's breathing, and it's really about learning how to draw the life force. We are swimming in life force. Life force is all around us. We are in an ocean of consciousness, and this consciousness is alive, and it is what gives us our life.
Right. And, we're just all made up of energy. And if we understood that, if we take the 3D parts away, you really don't know where one energy body begins and another one ends. You can't really take anything apart. But when we're in 3D, it's condensed much thicker, so we appear to be separate.
Yes. And this is Bruce Francis, and his book, Opening the Gateways of the Energy Body, is a great book. He's been a great resource for Qigong for decades, going back to the 80s. This over here is Dr. Ted Sibick. I've been there to lectures and seminars that he has given. He's a wealth of information as well. And, I've heard him talk, and I know people that have been there when he's done amazing healings, and we can all do amazing healings. We all can. I've experienced that firsthand myself with many people, and this is Roger Yankee as well, another great resource for decades on medical Qigong. There's so many out there that are amazing as far as their ability to heal, their knowledge, their understanding. And in my mind, there's none superior to my wife, but that's just, maybe I'm a little bit biased, but her ability to channel is incredible, and there's very few channels like her on this planet. And this is Lee Holden, another one that had a good time being there in a seminar and going through his techniques as well. He has a lot of videos out on YouTube too, if you want to go and explore them. Good videos for people just getting introduced to Qigong, I would say, and this is more Qigong for health, and easy to follow along with. He's a good instructor as well. This is a medical Qigong therapy book. This one's volume 3. There's 5 of these books. If you can find them, they're going to cost over $100. I'll just tell you that straight out. They're 500 to 800 pages long. Again, it's a 5-volume series, so there's probably 3,000 to 4,000 pages of information in here. And the guides actually told Cindy, and Cindy is one that has not always been more book first. She's not book first. That was my introduction, was more through books and classes and getting out there and learning from others. It's really after that I started to learn to connect with my guides more and go within for more knowledge. But with Cindy, it's always been guides first. But the guides told her, get into his medical Qigong books. They wanted her to go into my medical Qigong books, which I think is wonderful because there's so much information in them.
Well, you can find and have deeper understandings when it comes to healing and different kinds of vibrations and, using your voice when you're working on people. And we were going to put together probably soon another type of meditation so people can relax and actually get some sleep and heal while they're sleeping. So we're thinking about that.
Yeah, many of you guys have over the years said, boy, your voice and your energy is so good. Can you do some sleep videos to help us fall asleep and help us, have a good beneficial sleep that's deeply healing? And we could try to do some of those for you guys too, as well as other guided meditations.
I think it would be wonderful.
Yeah, so the focus on EEARTS is going to be a lot more like that. And Evolutionary is going to have all the news. again, we have energy centers all around the body. It is so important right now, the heart chakra. It's the bridge between the upper and the lower worlds, and in our body, the energy circuits. And our hands have tremendous capability to heal.
Right. And when we're using our heart chakra, that is so, so powerful. So when we send emotions through that heart chakra with intent, that really kind of brings up the healing abilities too. So that heart chakra is everything.
And so, there are many shamanistic traditions that make the use of certain natural elements, like those little things you could saute, and they might go good on certain dinner items, if you know what I mean. Psilocybin is one of the components. And also, there are many people that go and do retreats for ayahuasca. And if you look at like this, many people have experienced seeing things like this out there, all the sorts of geometric patterns, energy. I remember looking up into the sky after having done one of those type of things myself, and seeing just the connectivity of everything. And to me, it all looked very much like an amazing grid. It was just incredible. And when I was looking up, I couldn't help but just start to laugh uncontrollably, because I recognized and realized that our reality that we're in right now, it seems so real, doesn't it? But it's really not the ultimate reality.
In a lot of these medicines, I'm a strong believer in plant medicines for healing all kinds of, because what they do is they bring back balance. They bring back balance to a lot of the elements.
Absolutely, and they can expand your consciousness and help with many things. But again, it's amazing what can be done just through meditation. You can achieve any of these things, any of these states with just meditation, if you're dedicated enough and you're willing to put in the work.
Yeah, I would just go with meditation first, because I look at the medicinal plants, and that's exactly what that is. If you're having trouble, you can't get past something else, then you want to bring one of these plants in.
Yes, and me personally, I steer clear of any sort of big pharma, if you know what I mean. I don't touch anything. The only thing I'll ever touch is just regular aspirin if I absolutely had to. But I don't use anything, nothing that you would have to get PRE scribed. And that's just me. I just avoid it like the plague. This is all about DNA and the changes in DNA that's going to take us to the next step in consciousness, which is going to be mind-blowing, and also it's going to be literally kind of like a heaven on earth.
I believe so. Yeah, we're going to be seeing a lot more and having a much deeper understanding of things.
What we have to do is we have to realize that we're part of a much bigger being. And so whether we call it Gaia or Mother Earth, what have you, obviously there's always those that want to put a negative spin on anything that's positive. But just like there's 10 times the amount of things living in you than our cells in your body, it's the same thing with us. Each one of us is a cell in the body of Mother Earth. And Earth is a conscious being. She is a conscious living being, and she is ascending. And so when we send our love and our energy into her, and the guides came across in unison, and they just wanted to get across to you guys, that when you send energy into healing for the planet, it'll come back to you tenfold, is what they said. When we have basically like our own altar in our house, and we put out a plate all the time, it'll be things like apples and strawberries and blueberries and things like that.
And ginger,
honey, could be milk and honey. The life force that's with those items, the guides will take and they will amplify it, and they'll send it back to us. This is how these benevolent beings work. And so when we're sending healing energy into the earth, it'll be amplified. It'll come back out towards us. When we do our mantras and do our, you might be doing, instead of mantras, you might be doing affirmations, or you might be saying some sort of prayers. The ones that we work with, they'll always take the energy and the time and the focus, and they'll amplify it and send it back to us. It's not that they need or want any sort of worship. They just want to help us. So whatever energy we put out there, they take it, they send it back to us. In my own life, I had noticed that things were never really too easy until I started to, follow the path that I was supposed to follow. I wasn't doing the right work. I wasn't in the right situation. I just wasn't following my path. When I started to follow my path, and my path's focus was helping others, even when I was having a very, very tough time, things started to all of a sudden magically come together. And, even though things could be really troubling at times, I always trusted. And personally, I did end up just basically leaving situations with just a junker car and whatever I could put into that tiny little sub-economy car. That was it. No money in the bank or anything. And I just knew that I would be taken care of because my trust was building in my guides and in my purpose in life. And as that grew, things would always seem to work out somehow. Just magically, things would work out.
Right. You can do these things daily, the mantras, but in life, if there's something that's quite pressing and something that's you're not so sure about, you could try these mantras with that thing in mind and see the resolution that comes about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we're going to share this. It's only a couple minutes, and this is from our contact Laurel with the Galactic Federation.
We do want to bring you some information that we feel could be useful in the understanding of the separation of the AI energies. We do feel that you have plenty of time to make these separations and learn to work more with the earth and less with the technology. We cannot say for sure how long, but we do feel it is a sufficient amount for you to continue healing and recreating so that you might be able to use the energy of the mother as both nourishing and nurturer. The controllers we can see are trying to bring their controlling to other timelines that are not allowed. They feel they can keep loose control over you as you move through the ages. We do not feel that they have any ability to keep control over you. We did wish to express our understanding of what they are doing.
Yes, thank you so much.
We should release this channel at this time.
So the controllers are going to try to keep us under their control, even out of the Kali Yuga, is basically what she was getting across. Now, when did the Kali Yuga end? That's still debatable if you want to put it to when the big flash occurs. From what we understand, that's still like 23 years away, somewhere in that range, 24 years away. Their power is going to wane, but still, I feel like we have a couple of years of their power apparently peaking, as you're going to see them, doing everything they can to maintain control. But the illusion, the lies, the deceit, it's all going to become more and more evident, and it's going to cause the crumbling of the power structure.
Right. That is not real, is not going to survive, even though they are going to try. And I think that's what she wanted to point out is, get people to step back away from a lot of these technologies now.
Absolutely. And so, you've seen today one of the news items was Elon Musk buying out Twitter. And again, everything that you see going on right now, all the main players, they're all controller people. They're all controller people. Yet, are there any possibilities that are maybe a little bit better than others? Perhaps. Perhaps, but you got to keep in mind, these are all part of the system. Part of the system.
Right. No matter how you look at it, the system is the system, and they're going to have their little pathways for people who think there's just a little bit less control there, hoping you'll go down that, and then ultimately it's control.
Yes. And so if you want to maintain your sovereignty, you simply don't give it away.
Right.
It's just that easy, because they can't really take it. They can't really take it, but they can get you to give it away.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's free will. And yeah.
Free will. And there's free will even when there's a bully picking on somebody incessantly. Even when that bully is just constantly picking. There's still free will. And, of course, it might end up being a bloody nose at times if you have to, stand your ground, so to speak, or not back down. But again, that's all part of the free will.
And a lot of people might feel kind of like a black sheep in their families for choosing these paths. But if you look back in time, many people made some pretty what seemed to be strange moves when it came to the lands, like doing things that just didn't make sense, but they did make sense many, many, many years later.
Yes, absolutely. Again, cultivate the inner voice and work on your discernment. Not the left brain, exclusively with the logical mind overruling things. Because what we're doing then is we're actually starting to listen to our guides, and whether you believe in them or not, you have them.
That's right. They're there.
Even if you don't believe in chakras, guess what? You have chakras.
Yep, that's super true.
Yep. Everybody is constructed this way. You wouldn't be alive without them.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So again, guys, we hope that you found this informative. Like, share, subscribe. Thanks for your support on Patreon and Ko-Fi. We couldn't do it without you. Use Medicinal Foods coupon code EEA and get a discount. It does support the channel as well. And do check out evolutionaryenergyarts.com if you need to make an appointment. It's evolutionaryenergyarts@gmail.com or EEARTS@protonmail. Much love. God bless and namaste.
Namaste.